everybody. Welcome to Chit Chat Shop, another edition with our expert junior chefs, Bria and Reese. Today, we are going to do something that we do in the Kids Cook Supper Club here at Kitchen Door. This is a nice and simple tomato vegetable soup. So before any further ado, let's bring in Reese and Bria. Hello, you two. How you doing today?
Hi, good.
Awesome. I am so excited to cook with you two again. Are you guys ready to go or what?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we are going to make an amazing tomato vegetable soup today that is perfect for the whole family. Really good with grilled cheese sandwiches too, just saying. What we need first off is a nice pot like so, ready to go on our stove. Awesome. So why don't we put that on the stove here, and we're going to put a little bit of vegetable oil in here. Okay, so about 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. If we're measuring, I'm just going to use my little bottle here. Just cover the bottom of the pot with a little bit of oil is what we're looking for. Oh, Reese with the squeeze bottle. Not hard to tell your dad's a professional, huh? That's great. That's a really good kit. All right, perfect. So now we have all our ingredients chopped up, ready to go. So what we need to do now is we just need to turn our pot on. So let's turn it on to a 4 out of 10, okay? I'm just going to turn my burner on here. So we're going 4 out of 10. Perfect. And now this isn't like super high heat. It's still hot enough to cook everything. So just be really careful when you're cooking with it. But it's not so hot that the oil is going to splatter when we put things in it. So we're just going to let our pans warm up for a second here. But I just want to do a little check-in. Bria, what have you cooked at home lately?
Well, me and my mom made pancakes one day, and I helped my dad with a lot of good food things that we order from Good Food.
Yum.
They're really delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite from those?
Yes, there's this delicious pasta that my dad made a couple nights ago, and he makes it quite a bit now. And I forget what it's called, but he keeps the recipe from the Good Food book.
Cool. Nice. Well, it's good to hear your dad's cooking, because I work with your dad a lot, and he hasn't cooked much before that I know about. So anyway, that's pretty awesome. Reese, what about you? What do you cooked at home lately?
Apple crisp with my mom.
Ooh. I love apple crisp, especially with a little vanilla ice cream. That's probably one of my favorite Thanksgiving desserts. Did you guys have a turkey for Thanksgiving?
Yes. I went to my aunt's in the valley.
Oh, nice. It's always fun to see people eat a lot of turkey. I like that. It makes me a little...
The pumpkin people.
Oh, cool. Very fun. All right, so here's a little test that I like to do to see if my pot's warm enough, and this will work for you. Just sort of wave your hand over the top. And if you can feel a little bit of heat coming up, that means we're getting very close. It only takes about a minute or so to heat up.
Oh, there.
You got a little heat there?
I got a bit, yeah.
All right, perfect. So what we're going to do now, just look for your container. We have our base soup ingredients here. So we've got celery, onion, and carrot all cut up in this one container. So we can go ahead and put this right into the hot pot now with the oil. And then I got a little sizzle happening on my side here. And all these ingredients, these are the ones that give the soup a whole lot of flavor. They're known as aromatics, which basically means there's a lot of flavor in them. You just got to let them cook for a little while to get that flavor out. Good spoon there, Reese. I got a metal spoon here. What kind of spoon you got, Bria?
I got
Oh, that's a good spoon. You know what? I'm at a loss here. I want to match your spoon, but I just have a metal one. Anyway, all good. We've got our own spoons. That's fun. So let's just give our pot a stir here. We just want to mix around these veggies. You don't have to stir it a whole lot, but just so they're all sort of sitting in contact with the bottom. So you can make it a nice even layer, and they're all going to sit nice and comfy there, and they're going to cook. Awesome. So next thing we're going to need to add in here is 2 pinches of salt. So if you've got your salt, I got my salt in a little bowl here, but I'm just literally pinching with my thumb and 2 fingers, and we're just going to sprinkle it right into the pot here 2 times. And that should be enough seasoning for what we have going on here. And this will also help cook the vegetables a little, because it's going to take that extra water that's in them and help cook that out. So just put that in and then give it a good stir. to sort of help that salt distribute nice and evenly. So, Reese, do you have any favorite vegetables that you like in soup, or just favorite vegetables in particular?
Potato.
Oh, potato. Potato's a good one. Potato's a good one. It's not in this soup, but that would be really good in this soup. That's a great thing about this soup. You can kind of put whatever vegetable you want in it. So today we have like some. Go ahead.
I like hodgepodge.
Oh, hodgepodge is really good. It's a very classic Nova Scotia food. Yeah, that's really good. Yum. What about you, Bria? Do you have any favorite vegetables?
Yeah, I like carrots with dip.
Oh, yum. Yeah. Carrots are great with dip.
I
really like a tzatziki or something with it. That's really good.
I do like tzatziki with mine.
Awesome. So let's just give our soup ingredients another little stir here. So what do you think out of the 3 ingredients that are in the pot right now, the onions, the celery, and the carrot, which one's going to take the longest to cook, to sort of soften up a little bit? What do you think? Reese first.
Carrot?
You got it. It's the carrot.
Yeah.
And that's why, the carrot's going to take a little bit extra time, but that's actually good because those onions, they're a little stinky when you first cut them up, but when you cook them, they almost like melt a little bit. So that's what's happening right now. They're cooking down a lot, but those carrots are going to take the longest. So that's why we put them in first with everything. How's it looking over there, Bria?
Good.
Awesome. Okay, I think we're about ready to add our next ingredient. So we have our vegetables in here that take a little bit longer to cook. They've been going for about 3 or 4 minutes now. So what we want to add next is our zucchini. So we have our zucchini all cut up here, ready to go. So we can just pop that right in the pot. And just give that a little stir around.
They're stuck.
Oh, well.
Give a big push.
Yeah, I like to give it a little tap. Just tap the container right on the bottom. Yeah, there you go, Reese. Good tap. We'll get that right out of there. Excellent. Pardon me. All right. So you hear lots of sizzling happening in that pan now? Awesome. That means there's some good things happening in here. All that flavor is getting together. We're having a little flavor party in the pot here. That is awesome. All right, so now since we have all of our ingredients in the pot and I don't have to worry about it being basically the oil getting too hot, why don't we turn our burner up to a 5 now? We were at 4. Let's turn it up to 5 now. And what that'll do, that'll just help these vegetables cook a little bit extra and just cook a little bit quicker, because we want to make sure that we get them nice and cooked before we add our remaining soup ingredients.
Yeah,
because we're awesome. Good. So it's cooking away. Cooking away. So it's kind of amazing. Like celery, carrots, and onions. Those are in so many different dishes, but they're like the base of so many things. So you can take them in so many different directions. A lot of spaghetti sauce has them in the start. A lot of great soups. A lot of great casseroles. Everything. They're very, very much a really good base for whatever we're doing. So in this case, it's our soup base. And because we turned that heat up just a little, you want to keep it stirring, keep it moving a little bit. So just give it a little extra stir there. And what we're looking for, I'll just show you my spoon here. You can I'll just hold this up a little bit closer to the camera. These are all my ingredients here. You get all this nice steam coming off of here. But you can tell that the onions are now starting to cook down quite a bit. You can barely see them. But the celery and carrots are there. The carrots are starting to look a little bit cooked, which is good because they're going to take the longest of all the bunch, like I said. But I love the smell of all these vegetables cooking together. So nice. Now, what about pepper? Do you girls like pepper in your stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let's put a little pinch of pepper in here right now with all these vegetables. Okay, so we just take that pinch of pepper and right in the pot, or just give it a little grind if you got a grinder. That's perfect. That's just the ticket. Mm. Okay, so now we are getting close to our next ingredient to go in the pot, which is going to be our garlic. So the garlic that I gave you girls is all chopped up already. This is about 3 cloves of garlic that's been chopped up, but it's really, I love the smell of garlic, but wait till it hits the pot. It's going to smell so good when it hits the pot with all these vegetables. So let's just go ahead and do that, okay? So we're going to add our garlic to the pot. Because it's chopped up really fine, this is why we're adding it near the end of everything cooking here. So let's get that garlic in there, give it a really good stir, and you can just take a big whiff of that now. You can really smell that garlic. It's going to smell so good, and it's going to taste so good when it's all cooked down together. Yum, yum, yum. And I hear that sizzling. That's a really good sound. That is what we want to hear. That is all that water that's in those vegetables cooking right out and getting really tasty in there. And again, I'll just show you what my ingredients look like in the pot right now. Looking really nice and cooked down. Got lots of flavor happening here. And now if first, Bria, are any of your vegetables sort of sticking to the bottom of the pan at all, or is the stirring helping?
Some of them are sticking on the side, but not really in the bottom a lot.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Sometimes when you're working with a higher heat, things can stick a little bit, and you have to scrape the bottom of the pot. So that's good. How about you, Reese? Oh, okay, there we go. So if you see anything sticking, just give it a... Okay.
They're not sticking.
Good. That's what we're talking about. That's a good thing then. If it sticks, then we've got our heat a little bit too high. But in this case, we're doing all right. But if you see a little bit, if you see anything sticking a little bit, you can just scrape the bottom of the pot with your spoon. Just sort of move it back and forth, just like this. That'll help a lot. All right, so we're getting close now to our next ingredient. So we only have 2 ingredients left. We've got our tomato juice and we've got our peas. So it's probably going to be the peas, and that's exactly it. So these peas are going to go right in here, and peas are kind of great because they're just as good when they come from the freezer as if you got them fresh, because they freeze them so quickly after they've been picked. So these are just peas right from the freezer. They're going to thaw in no time and give lots of flavor.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Give peas a chance.
Give peas a chance. Absolutely. Thank you, Bria. That is excellent advice. Anybody watching right now, give peas a chance. Hey, Bria, what happens when you put peas in a blender?
What?
You get world peas. I think everybody on the Chit Chat Chop chat right now is going to have something to say about that. I think Bria had the better joke there. Just saying. All right, girls, now we're going to turn our pots down to a 3. Okay, so we got to take that heat down a little bit because we're going to add our tomato juice now, which I find is that or tomato or pureed tomatoes is a great soup base. Like you can use vegetable stock or chicken stock or something like this, but in this case, we got tomato juice. So yeah, just turn your pot down to a 3, and then we can just go right ahead and pour this tomato juice right in there.
It stopped sizzling. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to make sure of is that when we put that tomato juice in there, it would actually stop the sizzling, but then it can just gently rise in temperature. Because I don't know if you've ever seen like your mom or dad making spaghetti sauce before. Sometimes if that pot is a little bit too hot, you might get some bubbles, and those bubbles are going to go everywhere, and maybe they could hit you, they could splatter. I've gotten tomato sauce in the face before, and let me tell you, it is no fun, and I don't wish that upon you too. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. Really? How'd you do that?
I tripped over my dog because he always lays here, and then I put my hand like that on the other end.
Ouch. Ooh. Well, we're off to a better start than that today, I think. Don't want you tripping over any dogs.
My dog's right there. Kevin.
Is Kevin's just hanging out, is he?
Yeah. But he's
what a good boy. He wants to be near you. Uh-huh.
She just wants to food.
Is your dog... Oh, I see. Does your dog hang out in the kitchen much, Bria?
Right next to me. My dog's standing
What?
Oh, wow.
She normally begs, like, a lot. But she's being good, like, really good. There she is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, unfortunately, dogs can't have any of this soup because both onions and garlic make their tummies hurt. So that's just a fun fact. They're good for us, but not good for dogs.
I got Nala.
Hey, Nala, how you doing? What a cutie. I love it when people bring their pets on Chit Chat Chop. I brought my cat on here before. I might bring my dog on someday.
This is Kevin.
Dog and a cat?
Who's Kevin?
Yeah. There's Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Kevin's a good pooch.
Kevin.
Oh, yeah, just hanging out.
Whenever I go to Reese's house, she's just, like, so nice to me. He snips me a lot.
Aw, he's a good boy. Sounds like a very good boy.
I have a girl.
All right, so... Oh, go ahead.
He's upstairs.
Say again? So now our soup is almost ready. The only thing it needs to do now is it needs time. So it needs about 20 minutes to just sort of simmer now. So simmering means you don't want to boil it fully where like it's really rapidly bubbling. But simmer means you take it just below that point where it can just sort of like blip, 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 just gently cook. And that way, make sure nothing's going to splatter all over the place. And then all of these beautiful flavors in our soup are going to get some time to hang out together. So just look in my pot right here. That is looking real good. I don't want to tip it over much more just because that's dangerous, but this is going to be a great soup in about 15, 20 minutes. We can just let that simmer away. Just like that. So what do you think would go really good with this, Bria? What would you would you like some crackers or what do you think? What would go good with that?
I think rolls and grilled cheese.
Ooh, sophisticated. Mwah, I love it. That sounds fantastic. That sounds really good.
We have a market around the corner from our house, and there's rolls there. Like they're delicious, like really good. Like they're not like normal rolls, I would say, because they're better than that. My dad. They're like a mushroom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're delicious. I brought them to school. Remember, Reese, when I brought them to school for lunch?
Yes.
Nice. Now, what about you, Reese? What would you want to have with this soup?
A BLT sandwich.
Ooh, soup and sandwich. Classic combination. Very good. And I mean, BLT, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong at all. Maybe you could put a little cheese in there, too. But...
Our school is called BLT.
Is it really? Your school has the same name as a delicious sandwich. Well, that can't be all bad.
Yeah, because our teacher, we always had to go on our Chromebooks and search up like library, BLT senior library. And our library teacher says never just search up BLT and just search up BLT because that will turn up as a sandwich.
Well, that's some really good advice. But if you ever need to look for a recipe for a sandwich, you know what to type. That is awesome. Well, listen, you two, thanks so much for coming on another edition of Kids Cook Chit Chat Chop episode. It has been so awesome to have you on here. Just let this soup simmer for another 10, 15 minutes, and we are good to go. And you can feed the whole family with this nice pot of soup, maybe a little BLT on the side, a little grilled cheese, maybe a little goat's cheese, whatever you want to do. You can have a lot of fun serving your family with this soup. Anyway, have a great evening, girls. Thanks so much for coming on.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. everybody, we are launching our Kids Cook Supper Club, which is a super exciting program that we've got going on for kids. So what does this mean? It means that you sign your child up and they cook dinner for the whole family. So whether it be mac and cheese with a little salad, whether it be sloppy joes, a little roasted broccoli, they're going to cook along with me here in the virtual studio and cook dinner for your whole family. So check it out, kitchendoor.ca. It's the Kids Cook Supper Club. I'm excited, and you'll be too, when your kids cook supper.